I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is 2024 presidential contender Larry Elder. Larry, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Brittany, it is my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course, you were not on the debate stage last night. The debate did happen, but you said earlier this week you plan to sue the RNC and file an FEC complaint against them after they said you didn't meet the qualifications to be on stage. Break down that action for us a little bit.
So, Brittany, you notice I wasn't on the stage last night. I met all the criteria, 40,000 individual donations, 200 had to come from 20 different states. We exceeded that. The problem is I needed to file 3 polls where I was at least at 1%. We did. After I did it, I get a phone call from Ronna McDaniel and the debate czar, David Bossie. I'm sorry, Larry, one of the polls you submitted, we can't use. I said, why? And they said it's the Rasmussen poll. It is, quote, affiliated with the Donald Trump campaign, close quote. And I said, assuming that is true, what does it have to do with me? And they said, well, any campaign that's affiliated with a poll, that poll we can't use. I said, the same poll, Rasmussen, that you guys quote all the time, the same poll, Rasmussen, that was the most accurate one in 2016, you can't use it? They said yes. A few hours later, Brittany, on Twitter, Rasmussen puts a tweet and says, Trump had nothing to do with our poll, did not authorize it, did not commission it, did not even recommend it, and there's no reason why Larry Elder cannot use our poll as one of the official polls necessary for him to meet his criteria. Also, after we found out that they were not going to use Rasmussen, we submitted another poll that had me above 1%, but they said, well, you submitted that one too late. We wouldn't have submitted it late had we known you were going to disqualify one of the polls that we put up there. My lawyer is the former chair of the Federal Elections Commission, and he says the FEC sets forth the rules for debates, and once you set forth your criteria, you have to apply that criteria objectively to every single person. His argument is failing to do that made the RNC essentially give an in-kind contribution to the 8 people who made it, and furthermore, makes Fox News also essentially giving an in-kind contribution to these 8 people, so that our lawyer argues that this could subject them to a fine of $100 million to the RNC and to Fox News. And we threatened if I was not on that stage by 2 o'clock yesterday, we were going to drop the complaint. The complaint now going to be filed at 2 o'clock local time. I thought cooler heads were going to prevail. I assume that because Fox News, for example, is a publicly held corporation and they have a fiduciary obligation to avoid any unnecessary expense, I thought they put pressure on the RNC if the RNC didn't see the light of day on their own to put me up there, but they did not. So now we're going forth with this complaint, which we're filing, as I said, at 2 o'clock local time, and I'm still in Milwaukee right now. Not only was I barred from the debate, I was barred from the debate venue. They posted a notice and told security if Elder or Elder's campaign showed up, don't let him in. So what am I now, a terrorist?